Dear students, in our previous class we had started discussing lesson 7, A King's Tale. It is the story of King Arthur. King Arthur Pendragon and Lady Igraine were the father and mother of King Arthur. After Arthur's death, the king and queen died, and two trusted counselors placed Arthur in Sir Ector's hands. Sir Ector promised to rear the child. There was trouble in Britain after the king and queen died. The barons were fighting among themselves to become kings. There was total lawlessness. People were unhappy. We are starting from that point. Open your books at page 62. In the home of Sir Ector, Arthur, the son of the late king, was spending his boyhood in happiness and safety. Arthur was the name of the son of King Arthur Pendragon. The name Arthur was given to him by Sir Ector. Late king means the king who has died. Here it means King Arthur Pendragon. Arthur was spending his boyhood. Where was he spending his boyhood? He was spending his boyhood in Sir Ector's house. He was happy and safe there. As he grew older, he became gentle, strong, handsome, and good, like his father Arthur Pendragon. Arthur acquired or inherited all the qualities of his father King Arthur Pendragon. তার বাবা সমস্ত গুণগুলো তিনি পেয়েছিলেন. What were the qualities? He was gentle. He was not rude. He behaved in a polite manner. তার আচরণ ভদ্র. He was strong. Handsome means good looking. And he was good. That means he was kind and generous. 18 years passed. After the death of King Arthur Pendragon, 18 years passed. Britain was torn by bitter rivalry. Torn is the past participle of tear. Tear means to rip apart. ছিঁড়ে ফেলা. Britain was torn. England was ripped apart. England ছিন্ন ভিন্ন হচ্ছিল by bitter rivalry. Rivalry means competition, প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা. It was rivalry among the barons. All the barons were trying to become kings. None of the fighting barons had managed to become the king. None of them had become the king, but they were fighting. The people longed for the old days of peace and prosperity under Arthur Pendragon. Long for is a group verb. To long for means to want frantically. তীব্রভাবে চাওয়া. The people of England frantically wanted the peaceful days that they had seen under the King Arthur Pendragon. There was peace and prosperity at that time. Peace, the opposite of war, shanti. Prosperity, that means richness, samriddhi. People were prosperous, people were peaceful, so they wanted that life back again. It was Christmas time, a time of festivity. Christmas, you know, is the birthday of Jesus Christ, Yishu Christ's জন্মদিন. It is a festival that is celebrated throughout England and Europe. It was a time of festivity. Festivity, that means a festive mood, উৎসব মুখর পরিবেশ. But all around Britain, people were hungry, cold, and frightened. But the people of England were not at all happy. Though it was Christmas time, what was the condition of the people? The people were hungry. They did not get any food. They were cold. That means they suffered from cold. They had no shelter because Christmas is winter time. They were frightened. That means they were nervous. One day in a churchyard, people found a large stone on which was fixed a magnificent sword. In the churchyard, yard means the open space in front. সামনের ফাঁকা জায়গা. Church means the place of worship of the Christians, Girja. In the churchyard, Girjar Brahmane, what did the people find? They found a large stone, and on that stone something was fixed. What was fixed on it? A magnificent sword. Magnificent means beautiful. A beautiful sword was fixed on it. Upon the stone in gold letters was inscribed. Inscribed means written. What was written on the stone in gold letters? Whoever pulls out this sword is, by right of birth, the King of England. This was written on the stone. If anyone can take the sword out of the stone, পাথর থেকে যদি কেউ তরবারিটা খুলে নিতে পারে, he will be by right of birth. Right of birth means inheritance, উত্তরাধিকার. As an inheritance, উত্তরাধিকার সূত্রে, he would be the King of England. Immediately the eager barons who longed to become the king jostled among themselves to lift the sword. If you remember, the barons were trying to become kings, so they thought that it was a golden opportunity for them to become kings. So what did they do? They jostled, they longed to become the king. The word long means to wish strongly. Tibrohave chawa. What did they wish strongly? They strongly wished to become the king. They jostled among themselves. What is meant by the term jostle? To jostle means to push roughly. They were pushing each other roughly. All were trying to lift the sword because everyone thought that if he could lift the sword, he would be the king. None succeeded. One by one the barons came. They tried to lift the sword, but all of them failed. The sword remained fixed to the stone. It was Arthur at the age of 18 who succeeded in lifting the sword for the first time. The only person who could lift the sword was Arthur. By that time, how old was Arthur? Arthur was 18 years old. And 18-year-old Arthur was the person who succeeded in removing the sword from the stone. The barons were angry and disappointed. Disappointed means to be in despair, hotash howa. The barons were disappointed because they had thought that they would be able to pull the sword from the stone, they would become kings. When Arthur succeeded, they were very unhappy, angry, and they demanded a test. To demand, that means to call for. Dabi kora. They said that this was not enough. There should be another test. Upon a bright May morning, a great trial took place in the presence of many people. Trial means test. A test was performed in front of many people. There were the peasants, the craftsmen, the merchants, as well as the barons. All the people of England had come. Who were they? Peasants, the farmers had come, the craftsmen, that means people who make things with their hands. The merchants, that means the businessmen. The barons. In front of everyone, Arthur, slender and young, lifted the sword easily. Slender means neither too thin nor too fat. He is called slender. Arthur was like that. He lifted the sword easily in front of everyone. The crowd hailed him as the king. And when Arthur succeeded in pulling the sword out of the stone, the people were very happy. And they hailed him. To hail means to welcome. They welcomed him as the King of England. After becoming the King of England, Arthur's first duty was to secure peace in England. After becoming king, what was Arthur's first duty? As you remember, England was in the grip of lawlessness. England there was total anarchy. So the first duty of the king, the first responsibility of the king was to establish peace in the country. He was helped by wise Merlin. You remember, Merlin was the counselor who was a loyal friend of King Arthur Pendragon. Merlin helped Arthur also. Like his father, Arthur was concerned about the good of the common people. Just like King Arthur Pendragon, Arthur was also always thinking about the welfare of the common people. সাধারণ মানুষের মঙ্গলের কথাই তিনি চিন্তা করতেন। King Arthur fought battles so that no one could ill-treat the humblest of his subjects. Battle means fights. King Arthur was involved in many fights. Why? Because he would not allow even the humblest of his subject, humble, humbler, humblest, humble. That means very modest, meek, poor. Even the poorest of his subjects should not be ill-treated. To ill-treat means to behave in a bad way. Durbyavahar kara. Even the poorest of the poor should not be ill-treated. If someone tried to do it, King Arthur prevented it. King Arthur had lost his royal sword in a battle. The word royal is the adjective of the word king. King Arthur had once lost his sword. One day Merlin took him to a valley of sweet-smelling flowers. Valley. Valley means a place between two mountains. Upattaka. Merlin took Arthur to a valley. It was a valley where many flowers bloomed, and these flowers had fragrance. Fragrance means a sweet smell. At the edge of the plain there was a deep lake. A lake means a big water body, hroদ. At the edge of the plain, edge, that means brink, kinara. At the brink of the plain there was a deep lake. So as Arthur approached the lake, approach means to advance, to go towards. Arthur went towards the lake. A beautiful arm with golden bracelets rose from the water. It was an enchanted lake. Enchanted, that means under the spell. Eta jadu ba mantra putor hroদ. What came out of the lake? A beautiful arm with golden bracelets. Bracelets, as you know, are bangles worn by women. Bala porihito, sonar bala porihito ekta হাত. It came out of the lake. This hand held a sword, and in the hand of this hand held a sword set with rubies and emeralds. Ruby is a very precious stone. It is red in color. In Bengali it is called chuni, and emerald is also a precious stone. It is green in color. Banglaয় বলে পান্না. So the sword was fitted with precious stones like ruby and emeralds. This sword was held by a magical hand that came out of the lake. We have read up to this, study it, solve activity 4, activity 5 at page 64, and we will discuss it again. Thank you.